You wake up already tired. Your alarm feels like a gunshot to the skull. Your body is begging you to stay down, but the world demands you rise. You stand, half live, and drag yourself into another day you didn't ask for. Coffee in your veins, blue light in your eyes, and a weight on your chest that no one else can see. This is the silent curse of the modern man. Invisible exhaustion. You don't remember the last night you truly slept. Not a shallow rest, not broken dreams. Real sleep, the kind that restores, the kind that heals. It's been so long that your body has stopped asking for it. But your mind has not forgotten. Your mind is collapsing under the weight of every sleepless night you've ever ignored. And here's the truth no one dares to tell you. Sleep deprivation isn't weakness, it's control. The less you sleep, the easier you are to break. The more exhausted you are, the more predictable you become. Tired men don't revolt. Tired men don't dream. Tired men obey. Look at your life. How many times have you reached for your phone in the darkness, telling yourself just one more scroll? How many nights have you traded hours of rest for empty screens, for the endless scroll of nothingness? That glow in your hand is more than a distraction, it's a leash that keeps you awake, keeps you weak, keeps you running in circles. Modern society whispers lies into your ears. Rest is laziness. Sleep is wasted time. Hustle is everything. And so you cut your nights in two pieces, proud of your sacrifice, unaware of the invisible knife slicing through your future. Because every hour you lose at night, you lose 10 more in the day. Your body begins to ache. Your focus cracks. Your memory fades. Your patience wears thin. Your emotions twist. You shout at people you love. You forget things you swore you'd remember. You feel older, heavier, emptier. And yet, when morning comes, you put the mask back on. Pretend to be strong. Pretend you can handle it. Pretend you are not falling apart. Invisible exhaustion is more than being tired. It's a slow poison. It kills silently. Not in days, not in weeks, but in years, stolen from your life. Years where you could have lived awake, present, alive. Instead, you are half awake, half alive, drifting through a fog that no one else can see, but you feel it crushing you every second. And the darkest part, you start to forget who you were before the exhaustion. The version of you who had energy, passion, clarity. You bury him under sleepless nights until he becomes a ghost. This is the truth about your sleep-deprived mind. It's not weakness. It's not bad luck. It's the invisible chain that keeps men trapped in silence. And the question is simple. How long can you keep living like this before your mind finally shuts down? Picture this. It's 2:47 in the morning. A man sits alone, the only light in his room coming from a laptop screen. His back is curved, his eyes are dry and burning, and his cup of coffee has gone cold. Hours ago, he tells himself, just one more video, just one more scroll, just one more reply. But just one more is never just one more. It steals another hour, and another, until night becomes morning, and exhaustion becomes normal. This is the cycle of the sleep-deprived mind. At first it feels harmless. You think, I can handle this. I'll catch up on sleep later. But later never comes. The truth is, no man ever catches up on sleep. What you lose forever. And your body keeps the score. Every time you sacrifice sleep, you borrow from tomorrow. You're stealing clarity, stealing patience, stealing strength from the man you'll be the next day. And when the morning comes, you wake up older, heavier, more hollow than before. It's like pouring water into a cracked glass. No matter how much you try to fill it, the water slips away. That's what sleep deprivation does to your soul. You can drink coffee, take pills, force yourself to push through, but the cracks are still there, leaking your life, drop by drop. Men rarely talk about this. They call it being busy, being productive, or hustling. But deep down, they know the truth. They're not working harder, they're dying slower. Think about it. How many mornings have you woken up feeling like you never slept at all? How many times have you looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, what happened to me? How many times have you snapped at people you love, not because you wanted to, but because your brain was too tired to hold back. This is not weakness. This is not laziness. This is the invisible prison of modern men. A cage without bars, built out of glowing screens, endless deadlines, and nights that never seem to end. And the cruelest part, you become your own jailer. You convince yourself that staying awake is freedom, that you're choosing to work late, choosing to stay online, choosing to grind. But in reality, the choice was stolen from you. The apps are designed to keep you awake. The culture is designed to shame rest. The system is designed to feed on your fatigue. Every night, your body begs you for silence, for darkness, for healing, but you ignore it. You silence your own biology. You betray your own mind. And each betrayal leaves a scar you can't see. Invisible exhaustion is not just in your head, it's in your blood. It's in your heartbeat. It's in the way your hands tremble when you hold your phone at 3 a.m. It's in the way you stare at the ceiling, knowing you should sleep but unable to let go. This is the hidden torture of the modern man, and what begins as one sleepless night becomes a lifetime sentence. The question is, how long can you survive in a prison you keep building yourself, brick by sleepless brick? Here's the truth most men never hear. Your sleepless nights are not an accident. They are engineered. Think about it. The screens in your hand were designed to glow just bright enough to trick your brain into believing it's still daylight. The apps you scroll through at midnight were programmed to never end, always pulling you deeper, one swipe at a time. The culture around you tells you that if you rest, you are lazy. If you sleep, you are weak. If you close your eyes, someone else will take your place. This is not freedom. This is conditioning. And the cost, your mind. Science calls it sleep deprivation. But let's name it for what it really is. Mental sabotage. When you strip your body of rest, you strip your brain of its defenses. You lose impulse control. You lose clarity. You lose yourself. That's why you find yourself shouting when you swore you'd stay calm. That's why you keep reaching for junk food, nicotine, alcohol, anything to fill the void. That's why you feel like a stranger in your own skin. A sleep-deprived man is easier to manipulate. He buys faster. He argues more. He collapses sooner. His mind is not sharp enough to resist. And that's the dark secret. Your exhaustion makes you useful. Useful to companies. Useful to governments. Useful to anyone who profits from your distraction and your despair. Ask yourself, who benefits from a generation of men too tired to think? History repeats itself. In ancient times, slaves were kept weak with hunger and endless labor so they wouldn't revolt. Today, men are kept weak with sleepless nights and endless distractions, yet the result is the same. You don't fight back when you're too tired to stand. Nietzsche once said, when the body suffers, the spirit rebels. But in the modern world, the body suffers silently, night after night, until the spirit doesn't rebel at all. It surrenders. It collapses. It disappears. And here's the cruel irony. You think you're choosing this. You tell yourself you're in control, staying up late to finish that project, to answer those emails, to prove that you're stronger than your exhaustion. But that choice was never yours. It was planted, programmed, conditioned. The system doesn't need chains to control you. It just needs you tired? Because a man who hasn't slept is a man who doesn't question. A man who hasn't slept is a man who obeys. A man who hasn't slept is a man already defeated. Invisible exhaustion is the perfect weapon. It kills slowly, silently, without leaving marks. And worst of all, it convinces you that the problem is you, that you're not disciplined enough, that you're not tough enough, that you should be stronger. But the truth is darker. It's not your weakness, it's their design. So here's the question you need to face. If sleep deprivation is the weapon, how long before you realize you've already been disarmed? Modern men live in two prisons. One is made of screens, the other is made of sleepless nights. Every day, they wake up already tired, push themselves through endless hours of work, drown in digital noise, and collapse into a bed that gives no peace. They call this normal life, but there is nothing normal about a man whose body screams for rest while the world keeps whispering, "Keep going, Think about it. The man who wakes before sunrise to fight traffic, to sit in an office, to grind until his back aches only to return home after dark, too exhausted to even talk to his family. The father who kisses his child goodnight, but his eyes are so heavy he doesn't remember the moment the next morning. The friend who cancels plans, not because he doesn't care, but because his body simply cannot carry him one more step. This is the invisible exhaustion that defines our century. It doesn't show on the outside. Men still wear their suits, still lift weights at the gym, still smile when someone asks, "How are you?" But inside, the cracks are spreading. And here's the silent tragedy. Modern men confuse exhaustion with strength. They believe collapsing at midnight, waking before dawn, and functioning on caffeine is proof of discipline. But it's not strength. It's slow suicide. Metaphor. Every sleepless night is like borrowing from your soul with interest. And one day the debt comes due. Look around. How many men are growing old before their time? Wrinkles deepening not from wisdom, but from stress. Bodies breaking not from battle, but from endless fatigue. Minds fading not from age, but from lack of rest. And yet, society rewards it. You're such a hard worker. You never stop. You're always available. Praise for a dying man who is burning himself from the inside out. Invisible exhaustion is not just physical, it's emotional. Sleep-deprived men lose patience faster. They lash out at partners, children, colleagues. They carry anger they can't explain. They bury sadness they don't have the energy to face. They numb themselves with distractions because they don't have the strength to confront reality. And so the cycle continues. Late nights, shallow mornings, empty days. Here's the question that cuts the deepest. How many dreams have died not because of failure, but because of fatigue? How many men gave up not because they weren't capable, but because they were too tired to try again? Invisible exhaustion has stolen more ambitions than fear ever did. It has destroyed more relationships than betrayal ever could. It has killed more passion than rejection ever would. This is the hidden epidemic of modern men. Not broken bones, not bloody battles, but silent fatigue, eating them alive from the inside, until they forget what it felt like to be fully awake. And the darkest truth, most men don't even realize they're trapped. They've been tired for so long, exhaustion feels like home. Here is the truth you've been avoiding. Your exhaustion is not a personal flaw. It is a weapon being used against you. You've been taught to believe that being tired is your fault, that you should be tougher, stronger, more disciplined. But what if the fatigue crushing you is not weakness, but programming? Think carefully. From the moment you wake up, your attention is hijacked. Notifications pull at you before you even get out of bed. Deadlines chase you into the office. Ads scream at you from every corner. At night, when your body begs for rest, your phone glows in your hand like a hypnotic chain. This is not coincidence. It is design. And here's the dark psychology. A man who sleeps deeply is dangerous. He thinks clearly. He sees manipulation for what it is. He resists. But a man who is sleep deprived, he becomes predictable. He reacts instead of reflects. He consumes instead of creates. He obeys instead of questions. That is the hidden system you live in, one that profits from your exhaustion. The philosopher Michel Foucault once said that true power is not about chains or whips. It's about control that becomes invisible. And what could be more invisible than exhaustion? You can't point at it. You can't hold it. But it shapes every decision you make. Ask yourself, how many choices in your life were made not because you wanted them, but because you were too tired to choose differently? The job you stayed in, the relationship you abandoned, the opportunity you ignored. Fatigue makes men passive, and passive men are easy to rule. Metaphor. Sleep deprivation is like a fog, thick, heavy, all-consuming. You think you're moving forward, but you're only circling inside the mist. And slowly, it erases the landmarks of who you are until you forget the way back to yourself. Invisible exhaustion has a spiritual cost too. When you don't rest, you disconnect from silence, from reflection, from your own soul. You become a machine of survival instead of a man of meaning. You forget to ask, why am I even doing this? But here is the revelation you must face. Rest is not weakness. Rest is rebellion. Every time you sleep, you defy a system that wants you broken. Every time you unplug, you take back what was stolen. Every night of real rest is a revolution against a world that thrives on your fatigue. You've been convinced that rest is surrender, but the truth is the opposite. Rest is resistance. Rest is clarity. Rest is freedom. And the question is no longer, can you keep living like this? The question is, what will happen the day you finally decide to wake up and take your mind back? Look at your own life. How many years have you already given to invisible exhaustion? How many mornings have you opened your eyes already defeated, carrying the weight of a night that never healed you? This is not just about sleep. It's about everything you've lost because of it. The arguments that never should have happened. The mistakes at work you wish you could erase. The dreams you once had but abandoned because you were too tired to chase them. Exhaustion doesn't just kill your body, it kills your potential. It steals your patience, your ambition, your joy. It makes you believe you're less than you are. And the cruelest part, you've worn this fatigue like a badge of honor. You've told yourself that being tired means you're strong, that sacrificing sleep means you're disciplined, that collapsing at night means you're achieving something. But deep down, you know the truth. This is not strength. This is slow death, disguised as productivity. Think of the moments you missed. The friend you didn't call back. The child you didn't play with. The idea you didn't write down. The passion you didn't pursue. Not because you didn't care. Not because you weren't capable. But because you were simply too tired. Invisible exhaustion has stolen more from you than failure ever did. And yet, here you are, still breathing, still standing, which means something important. It's not too late. Rest is not surrender. It is the reset you've been denying yourself. Sleep is not wasted time. It is the only time your body repairs the damage of the day. Silence is not weakness. It is the space where you remember who you are. Society wants you exhausted because tired men don't rebel. But you are not a machine. You are not meant to live half awake. You are meant to live with clarity, with strength, with presence. So ask yourself, how much longer will you let exhaustion own you? How many more years will you trade for sleepless nights? And what would happen if, tonight, you chose differently? Imagine it, a night of deep, uninterrupted rest. Waking with clarity instead of fog. Facing the day with patience instead of anger. Feeling alive instead of merely existing. That version of you is waiting. And the only thing standing between him and the man you are now is the decision to rest. Sleep is not weakness. It is rebellion. When you finally let your mind rest, you don't just wake up refreshed. You wake up free. But here's the question I want you to answer. How many nights have you lost to invisible exhaustion, and what has it stolen from you? Write it in the comments. Your story might be the mirror. Another man needs to realize he's not alone. And if this message struck something inside you, don't just scroll away. Follow Psychological Shadow, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell, because this is only the beginning of the truth about the modern mind. The next video in the Modern Men playlist is waiting for you right now. Click it. Continue this journey, because the choice has always been the same: rest or collapse.